Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I have the update for years of usage, which was created by Sarah Catherine. I have her linked down below. And in 2025, you try and use every shadow that you have, or a select few, 25 times. So I have not selected any particular shadows that I wanted to use 25 times. I'm just documenting all of my uses, like, for my entire collection, and that way I'm also kind of basing possible declutters on what I actually use and what I don't. And today I want to go over some of the shadows that I've been using the most. So these updates are always very number heavy. I am going to go over my numbers, but quite briefly. And I want to show you some palettes and some shadows that I have been using more than 25 times. So if you're interested, that'll be coming up. But first, we'll see how many uses I did this month. So this month, I'll put it on the screen. I had 170 uses across all of my eyeshadows. And then for the total needs, I'm gonna look on my screen right now. Last month we had a total of 1,436 uses on my collection, and I still needed to do 7,866 uses. This month I have a total of 1,606 uses on my entire collection. And we still need 7,830 uses. Now, if you're doing the math and you're like, that's not correct, it is because I did add it to my collection. I brought in the Shrek eyeshadow palette. So that is 16 or 15? 15. That's 15 new eyeshadows into my collection times 25 uses. So yeah, there's that. This month, however, I did do quite well with hitting pan. So I hit 6 new pans, which is crazy. Last month I had a total of 32 eyeshadows with pan, and this month I have 39. Now, because I added shadows to my collection, did they count? Yeah, I counted those. I was not sure for a moment. So because I added shadows to my collection, my total of eyeshadows is now 399, of which 39 have pan. So that is a pan percentage of 37.6%. I'm not really trying to hit a certain pan percentage, but I just like to track it. As for the pan percentage per brand, nothing changed because I hit Coulourpop pans mostly, and then I think a 𝓮𝓮𝓮 one, and I've already completed the goal for both those brands, so I'll put them on the screen, but nothing changed anyway. Like, no goals were met. That's what I'm trying to say. Something did change, but I already hit my goal for those brands, so nothing changed there. But there's that. Let's go check out the shadows that I've been using a whole lot. I think that'll be more interesting to look at. Okay, so first I have 3 out of my current Panda palette, which consists of Coulourpop singles. It has changed over the year, but I've been switching it up. But there's 3 shadows in here that have stayed in here consistently. Pretty sure they've been in here since the beginning, and I've surpassed the 25 uses on those. And those are the shades Wavelength, Bare to Wear, and Moody. So if I look at my spreadsheet, I did 55 total uses on Bare to Wear, 57 on Moody. I did 76 total uses on Wavelength, which is crazy. 76 uses. That is insane, actually. Then moving down in my spreadsheet, I have 1 shadow from the Beauty Bay Love Notes palette that I've surpassed the 25 uses on, and that is the shade Cheeks, which I used as a blush most of the times. I tried to hit pan on it in Pamela's eyeshadows, and it took me so long. I was using it as a blush. I thought it was gonna go faster that way, but it took so long. I have 38 uses on this currently. So again, well over 25 uses. Not as much as the other shadows from my Panda palette, but still a lot of uses. Then there were also some 𝓮𝓮𝓮 singles that I've surpassed the 25 uses on, but they have since been finished. So I have nothing to show you there. I finished Bitter Start first. I have 110 uses on that. And then I finished Wax Paper, and I have 68 uses on that. So that's crazy, but I have nothing. Well, I have the empty pan still, but there's that. I finished those. Then I am working on a different 𝓮𝓮𝓮 single, another lid setting shade. I currently have 43 uses on that. And then moving down to my Viseart quad. Now, these shadows were also in my Panda palette for a while. This is what my palette looks like. You can see the use is there. I have big pans. I used this shadow 46 times, this one 38, this one 36, and this one 28. So surpassed at 25 uses on all 4 of those. And then the last shadow that I have to show you is one from my Michael Beauty Shop Peacock Feathers palette, and I used the shade Crowned 33 times. So this is the shade Crowned, an inner corner highlight shade, very easy to use. 33 uses on this, so it did surpass the 25 uses. Again, not as much as some of the others, but I'm happy that I was able to get at least 25 uses on that. And then that is all. I'm thinking about doing a dedicated palette next year, or palettes, I'm not really sure, because I feel like these updates are kind of boring, just me showing my spreadsheet and the numbers. I feel like it would be more interesting if I perhaps could hold up a palette and like show you what I've used, for example. I don't think I'm gonna do it with this palette though, but you know, I think that would be more interesting. And I think after doing it like this year, I have a good view of what I like in my collection and what I don't really like. So I think we can move on into the next new year with a better curated collection. And that way I could get some more use on it. I think, I don't know, who knows? Anyway, that was it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, even though it's maybe not the most interesting out of every video that I do, but there's that. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will hopefully see you in one of my next videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.